Hello, and welcome to Daily Dose of Parenting, your one-stop solution for all things parenting. We're here to support you on this extraordinary journey, offering insights, guidance, and tips to help you navigate the challenges and joys of raising children. Today, we're focusing on a particularly challenging stage, the teenage years. The title of our video says it all: 10 common mistakes parents of teenagers often make. Navigating the teenage years can be complex. Balancing their need for independence with your responsibility as a parent is no small feat. We'll be exploring 10 common pitfalls that can complicate this balance, from micromanaging their lives to neglecting our own self-care. Drawing from expert advice and psychological research, we aim to provide you with practical strategies to avoid these mistakes and foster a nurturing environment for your teen. Stay with us as we delve into these common mistakes and provide you with tips to avoid them. Mistake 1. Micromanaging their lives. Parents frequently fall into the trap of trying to control every aspect of their teenagers' lives. During this phase, teenagers are seeking their own identity, craving for independence, and discovering their own voice. The instinct of a parent is often to regulate every part of their lives, from their study habits to their social lives. But over-supervision can be counterproductive, inducing rebellion and resentment. We've all felt the suffocating weight of someone constantly hovering over our every move. This is no different for teenagers. Perhaps it's even more acute at this stage of their lives when they are trying to create their own identity. It's all about striking a balance. It's about directing them without suppressing their decisions. It's about providing them with the necessary tools and then stepping back to let them create their own journey. This could mean letting them manage their own schedules, take control of their academic responsibilities, or decide on their own extracurricular activities. It's not about completely eliminating our parental influence, but rather transforming it from control to guidance. This approach has numerous benefits. It propels them to develop problem-solving abilities, instills a sense of responsibility, and most importantly, enhances your bond with them. They begin to trust their own capabilities and your trust in them. Sure, they might err, they might miss school assignments or choose a passing interest, but that's a part of maturing. Through these missteps, they learn vital life lessons about accountability, persistence, and decision-making. Let's ease up a little. Let's navigate them in the right direction and then give them the freedom to explore, to grow, to make their own errors, and learn from them. Bear in mind, guidance is crucial, but so is learning from their own experiences. Mistake 2. Ineffective communication. When discussing communication, it's simple to assume that it's all about speaking. However, that's only half of the equation. Listening is equally, if not more, important. It's similar to a dance, where both participants move in sync, taking turns to lead and follow. Picture this scenario. Your teenager arrives home from an evening out, and instead of inquiring about their day, you immediately begin discussing the significance of punctuality. The probable outcome: they'll likely switch off, feel misunderstood, and might be less willing to share their experiences with you in the future. This is the trap of one-sided communication. Instead of promoting understanding and respect, it can cause people to shut down and create distance. So, how can we rectify this? The solution is in open, reciprocal communication. This doesn't mean you have to concur with everything your teenager says or does. It simply implies providing them with a secure environment where they can express their thoughts and feelings without fear of judgment or immediate criticism. For example, instead of giving a lecture on punctuality, try posing open-ended questions like, "How was your day? Did you have fun?" Allow them to share their experience first, then subtly guide the conversation towards the subject of punctuality. Perhaps something along the lines of, "I noticed you returned home later than we agreed upon. Discuss that?" This method demonstrates that you value their input and are ready to listen, which in turn motivates them to reciprocate. It's about creating paths of understanding, not constructing barriers of authority. Mistake 3. violating their privacy. A common misstep in raising adolescents is not respecting their growing need for personal space. The teenage years are a critical period in life when young individuals are finding their footing and gaining independence. Privacy becomes a pivotal aspect during this time. As parents, the natural instinct is to protect them, but it's equally vital to build a relationship based on mutual trust and respect. Going through their personal belongings without their knowledge can hurt this trust. Just think about it. Wouldn't you be betrayed if someone went through your personal belongings? The same applies to your teenager. Respecting your teenager's privacy isn't synonymous with ignoring potential risks. It's about open and honest dialogue, setting limitations, and imparting the significance of privacy. This approach not only respects their privacy, but encourages them to do the same. This implies giving them the room to make their choices and guiding them when they seek help. In situations when you believe it's essential for their safety, it's crucial to express your worries openly and honestly. Make sure your teenager understands that your actions stem from love and concern, not an intention to invade their privacy. Striking a balance between giving them space but also providing a safety net is an integral part of raising a teenager. It's about nurturing a relationship based on mutual trust and understanding, and allowing them the liberty to evolve and learn. Mistake 4. Not adjusting expectations. The teenage years are a momentous period of transformation and growth, not only physically but mentally too. A fundamental component of this growth is taking place right in your teenager's brain. Neuroscience reveals that the adolescent brain is still a work in progress, specifically in areas governing judgment and impulse control. This means that teenagers are naturally programmed to crave novelty and occasionally make impulsive decisions. So when your teenager's actions leave you perplexed, remember it's not always defiance. It's often just their brain operating as it's designed at this phase of their life. Now, this doesn't mean we should just let them act without caution. It's about modifying our expectations to match their developmental stage. Understand that your teenager is not yet an adult and doesn't possess the same cognitive capabilities as you. Expecting them to consistently act like adults is setting both parties up for disappointment. So, how do we modify our expectations? First, offer guidance of insisting on perfection. Motivate them to deliberate their choices and comprehend the potential repercussions, but also reassure them that making mistakes is a part of the learning process. Second, patience. Remember that their brain is still evolving, and this process isn't instantaneous. Third, promote open dialogue. When they make a decision you disapprove of, discuss it with them. Ask about their thought process and use it as a learning opportunity, rather than resorting to reproach. Finally, commend their accomplishments. When they make wise decisions, acknowledge them and express your pride. This can inspire them to continue making sensible choices. We need to continually change our expectations as they mature and navigate this challenging phase of life. In doing so, we can cultivate a relationship of reciprocal respect and understanding. Mistake 5. Lack of clear boundaries. When parenting adolescents, it's necessary to lay out undoubtable and unwavering boundaries. The reason? Boundaries serve as a guiding force, helping teenagers understand what is expected of them. Think of it as a navigational map for their journey towards adulthood. Let's delve into the importance of clear guidelines. These rules provide structure and order, assisting them to navigate this intricate phase of life. However, it's not just about setting rules. It's about establishing rules that are fair, sensible, and relevant to their age and maturity. For example, setting a curfew might be necessary for their safety, but it should be decided upon with their input and take into account their responsibilities and requirements. Let's discuss consistent consequences. Consistency is key here. If you stumble in the enforcement of the consequences you've set, or if you're inconsistent in applying them, your teenager may start to question the validity of your rules. They may think, well, Last time there were no consequences, so it's probably okay to do it again. Consistency helps to reinforce the rules and teaches them that actions have consequences. But how do we set effective boundaries? Here are a few tips. First, involve your teenager in the process. If they're part of the rule and consequence setting, they're more likely to stick to them. Second, be precise and explicit. Avoid vague rules that can lead to confusion and misinterpretation. Lastly, be firm yet flexible. Understand that as your teenager grows and matures, the boundaries may need to be adjusted. So, the establishment of clear and steadfast boundaries is crucial. They offer structure, teach responsibility, and prepare your teenager for adulthood. It's certainly a challenging task, but it's undoubtedly worth the effort. Mistake 6. Overemphasis on negative behaviors. Continually highlighting the faults and failures of our teenagers can unintentionally erode their self-confidence. It's akin to magnifying their deficiencies under a harsh and unrelenting spotlight, causing them to feel perpetually inadequate. This could lead to feelings of worthlessness and insufficiency, and may even cause them to develop a negative perception of themselves. But here's the reality. Teenagers, like all individuals, encompass a blend of strengths and weaknesses. They're in a process of learning, evolving, and discovering their identity. So why not shift our attention towards their accomplishments rather than focusing solely on their blunders? Recognizing even the minor victories, such as completing a challenging task or lending a hand at home, is crucial. Applauding achievements, big or small, can significantly uplift a teen's self-confidence. It conveys to them that they're competent, that they're making progress, and that their efforts are noticed and valued. It also propels them to persist, to continually better themselves. After all, who doesn't like to feel valued? But how can we shift our attention the negatives to the positives? One strategy is to cultivate observation. Observe your teen's behaviors and look out for instances of kindness, accountability, or determination. Praise them for these and ensure your compliments are sincere. Another suggestion is to regularly express gratitude. At the close of each day, highlight something your teenager has done that you appreciate. This might be as straightforward as cleaning their room or completing a school project. Keep in mind that everyone possesses their strengths and weaknesses, and it's all right to stumble and fall. A dose positivity can dramatically contribute to building confidence and self-worth. Mistake 7. Personalizing their behavior. It's important to remember that the teenage years are a time of intense emotional changes and hormonal fluctuations, which often result in mood swings. These roller coasters are a normal part of their growth. This is what many teenagers experience during these years. When your teenager exhibits a strong emotional response, it's crucial to understand they're just trying to navigate their way through this roller coaster ride. Keeping this perspective in mind is vital. Try to recall your own teenage years and the emotional turbulence you through. As an adult, you have the benefit of having been through it all and knowing that this phase is transient. It's also useful to open communication channels. Encourage your teenager to share their feelings and thoughts. Assure them that it's okay to feel upset or confused, and that these emotions don't define them. By doing so, you're creating a safe space for them to express themselves. Remember, their strong emotions are not about you, they're just part of growing. Guiding your teenager through these turbulent years can be tough, but with patience, understanding, and a good dose of perspective, you can help them navigate this roller coaster ride while reinforcing your bond with them. Mistake 8. Parental disunity. It's crucial to keep in mind that adolescents are extremely sharp observers. They rapidly identify inconsistencies and use them to their advantage. That's why it's so pivotal for parents to project a unified stance when it comes to establishing guidelines. When parents openly discuss differing opinions on rules, it can cause confusion. This may result in teenagers feeling pulled in different directions by their parents, leading them to potentially taking advantage of it. Parental disagreements can foster an atmosphere of tension, which is distressing for all parties involved, prompting them to question the stability of their home environment. So how sidestep this error? The solution lies in discussing disagreements privately, out of earshot of your teenager. This doesn't translate to suppressing your emotions or viewpoints. Making a conscious effort to converse freely and respectfully with your co-parent to reach a mutual consensus or compromise. Bear in mind, it's completely fine to have varying parenting approaches, but it's crucial to agree on primary matters like rules and values. Endeavor to find common ground and be open to making compromises for the benefit of your teenager's welfare. In cases disagreements are difficult to reconcile, consider seeking assistance from a professional, such as a family therapist. Mistake 9. Disregarding their interests is a common pitfall. It's easy to brush aside the latest video game craze, the penchant for skateboarding, or the all-consuming interest in anime as inconsequential or insignificant. However, let's make this crystal clear. To your teenager, these interests are anything but insignificant. They're a crucial component of their identity, their self-perception, their position in the world. Teenagers are at a stage where they're grappling with their identity and where they belong. Their hobbies, their passions, the activities that consume their time and energy, these are the materials they're using to build their identity. So how can we exhibit genuine interest? Engage them in conversation about the book they're engrossed in or the music they're tuned into. Even if it's not your preference, strive to comprehend why they find it appealing. It's not about feigning shared interests, but about recognizing the delight these activities bring them. Your presence sends a potent message that their interests are significant, and that you're there to back them up. Lastly, provide resources when possible. If your teenager has a keen interest in photography, think gifting them a camera or a book on photography. If they adore writing, provide a serene space for them to pen their thoughts or enroll them in a writing workshop. Tangible support for their interests can bolster their confidence and motivate them to follow their passions more intensely. Remember, actively engaging in your teenager's hobbies and passions is an effective way to bond with them. It nurtures trust, promotes open dialogue, and cultivates a robust sense of identity and belonging. Their interests form a part of who they are, support them, and assist them in their growth. This, of your time and focus, can yield significant dividends in your relationship with your teenager and in their path towards evolving into a self-assured, well-balanced adult. Mistake number 10, neglecting self-care, is one that we see parents often make. In the chaos of raising teenagers, it's easy to forget to care for yourself. But remember, you can't give from an empty vessel. Burnout isn't exclusive to the workplace. It can affect parents too. It is a state of chronic stress, characterized by physical and emotional fatigue, a sense of inefficacy, and disconnection from one's self. Running on fumes continuously impacts your ability to provide the nurturing support your teenager needs. You might find yourself becoming less patient, less understanding, and less present. And here's an important takeaway. Your teenager is always observing. They're not just learning from your words, but your actions too. When you disregard your own self-care, you're inadvertently teaching them it's acceptable to neglect their own needs, to work themselves to the point of fatigue, to put everything but their own health first. So how can we avoid this? Begin by acknowledging that self-care is not self-indulgent, but essential. It's about preserving your physical, mental, and emotional health so you can be the best parent for your teenager. Everyone's self-care routine may vary. It could involve taking a few minutes each day to meditate, reading a book, or going for a walk. It could involve maintaining a balanced diet, getting ample sleep, and staying active. It might involve seeking help when you're feeling overburdened, be it from a friend, a family member, or a professional. Learn to say no. Realize that you can't do everything, and that's perfectly fine. Prioritize activities that bring you happiness, help you relax, and recharge energy. Remember, caring for yourself isn't just for your own benefit, it's about setting a precedent for your teenager. It's about demonstrating to them, through your actions, the significance of self-care. It's about assuring them that it's okay to prioritize their own health. Because ultimately, the greatest gift you can give your teenager is being a healthy, happy, well-rested parent. So there you have it. 10 common mistakes that parents of teenagers often make. From micromanaging their lives and ineffective communication to neglecting the importance of clear boundaries and self-care, these pitfalls can complicate the already challenging journey of raising teenagers. Remember, it's essential to respect their burgeoning independence, communicate effectively, and adjust your expectations as they grow and learn. Your role is to guide them, not control them. And while setting boundaries, ensure you celebrate their achievements to build their self-esteem. Teenagers' interests and passions matter. Show genuine interest, support them, and never take their behavior personally. And of course, don't forget self-care. You can't pour from an empty cup. Avoiding these mistakes can pave the way for a stronger, more understanding relationship with your teenagers. And remember, effective parenting adapts and grows just as our children do. Thank you for tuning in to Daily Dose of Parenting. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more insightful content. Until next time, happy parenting.